got a great show for you today. We have Undying Inc. all the way from Delhi coming down, and we're going to be making them an Undying Meatzza. And that's a pizza made only from meat. No bread, only meat. A good pizza sauce is essential for any pizza. So we're going to make our own pizza sauce from scratch, and we're going to start by heating our pan and putting some olive oil and butter in that. And we're going to add our olive oil along with some butter in the pan and let this get nice and hot. We're going to throw in some cloves of garlic, but I'm going to puree the mixture later, so no problem. I'm just going to let the entire clove of garlic cook. And we're going to let these get nice and brown now. To this, we're going to add some onions now and let them cook till they are nice and brown as well. I put an entire onion in that, and you just let this cook now till this gets some nice color to it. The onions become translucent and then turn a nice golden brown. Now that our onions are done, I'm going to add these freshly chopped and skinned tomatoes that I prepared a little while ago. So I'm prepping my tomatoes for my pizza sauce, and what I need to do is get the skin of these tomatoes and then chop them up. So I'm going to show you a cool technique to get the skin off your tomatoes. What you need to do is make an incision in the top of the tomato, just a small one, and then we just blanch it in some boiling water for about 30 to 40 seconds till the skin comes off. And that's about done, and you just peel the skin right off the tomato. It comes off easily and you're good to go. So we're going to put these in now and let them cook for a bit. Now a lot of people like to use canned tomatoes, but I prefer the taste and flavor of fresh tomatoes. So if you don't have fresh tomatoes, you can also use canned tomatoes, no problem about that. And now to this, we're going to add our seasoning, which is some oregano, some pepper, salt and basil. Just throw in the basil leaves whole. I'm not chopping them up because they lose a lot of flavor that way. So I'm just going to throw them in whole, and they're going to wilt, and they're just going to give that lovely flavor of basil to the pizza sauce. Once this cooks down, I'm going to put it in a blender and mix it down to a paste. Now since this is hot, you might want to let it cool for a few minutes before you blend it, because there will be a lot of steam that will escape. So now that our mixture is blended, we're going to put this back in the pan to cook a little more. There's still one more thing left to add to this, and that's some tomato puree. You can buy the homemade purees or the ready-made purees. It's all good, just to give it that tomatoey flavor and that lovely red color. And if you like it spicy, you can throw in some chili flakes or some Tabasco as well, and that really makes it tangy and spicy. And we're going to just let this cook now for a few more minutes, and then remember, taste your sauce before using it. Perfect, good enough for our pizza. So we're going to take it out in a bowl now and just let it cool. The sauce is ready. So we've got the most important part of our Undying Meatzza, which is the base, and for that I'm going to use beef mince. You can use chicken, pork, mutton, whatever you like, and I'm using about 750 grams because I want a slightly thick meat base. If you want a thinner base, you can always use less meat, and if you want it even thicker, you can use 1 kilo, 2 kilos. The world is your oyster. Go ahead. So I'm going to season the meat now with some garlic salt, some pepper, want it nice and peppery, some thyme and some rosemary. So now that we're done mixing the meat, we're going to transfer it to our baking tray, and here we're going to shape it like a pizza base. So you need to have it nice and round. Just spread that out. There you have it, nice round pizza base. Now that we've got the base together, we're going to cover this with our lovely pizza sauce. Make sure you cover all the edges of the pizza as well, because you want to taste the sauce with every bite of meat. Now we're going to top this with some pepperoni, because I just love a good pepperoni pizza. But if you don't have pepperoni, you can use chicken, salami, sausage, mutton mince, whatever you want. This is yours to play around with. And I'm going to be generous with the pepperoni. I really am not going to be stingy like those pizza places that you normally eat a pepperoni pizza with 2 slices of pepperoni on each, pizza. This is definitely a meat lover's heaven. There is no doubt about that. I am truly a manimal. Just to make sure, let's taste it. That's quality stuff. Now the most important, the most delicious part of any good pizza, the cheese. And I'm using a nice mix of different cheese, so it's going to melt and be just, oh my god, delicious. You just pour that cheese on, spread it around. So now this is ready to go into the oven. Make sure you preheat your oven to about 250 degrees Celsius, and keep this in for about 10 to 12 minutes. Remember, however, to keep an eye on it so that it doesn't get overcooked and the meat doesn't become dry. Let's go put this in the oven now. So while our Undying Meatzza is in the oven cooking, I'm going to quickly whip up some delicious garlic bread to go with that. So the first, get started, we're going to use some butter. And we're going to add some crushed garlic to this butter. Chop up some parsley, fresh parsley, and add that in as well. And we're going to add some pepper and a little bit of oregano as well. And don't forget a little bit of olive oil just for that flavor. Just a dash of it. Just mix all of that together. And there, your butter is ready. Now let's cut up the bread. I'm using fresh bread from the bakery. You can use French baguette or Italian bread as well. Doesn't really matter, you can do it on toast also. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can maybe make a garlic butter chapati also. And now we're just going to butter these up before cooking them. We're going to cook the garlic bread in a pan actually, instead of using the oven. You can use the oven, however I've got a meatzza in the oven. So I'm just going to cook it on a frying pan, kind of like how you do for pav bhaji. So our garlic bread is done, and we're just going to put it in the plate now. Some delicious garlic bread. Yum yum. Meanwhile, let's go check if our meatzza is done. I think it should be done by now. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Oh, that should be done in another 2 or 3 minutes, I guess. The Undying Meatzza is ready! And we're coming for you, Undying Inc. They'll be here soon. Welcome back to Headbanger's Kitchen, and today we've got 2 gentlemen from a band that redefines aggression and brutality, and it's also rumored that they have the lowest percentage of body fat in the Indian metal fraternity. My guests today are none other than Reuben and Shashank from Undying Inc. Hey guys, great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
Welcome to Headbanger's Kitchen. So, jokes aside, what's with all the fitness and the working out and all?
This happens, I guess, for us.
Alright, so the fittest band in India is...
I don't know.
Fittest band. We don't know about that.
Debatable.
Alright, so Undying Inc, how did you come up with the name and where did it all start?
So it's Undying Inc means there's a spirit of things which, the way you approach your music, you make something that doesn't die. You make music that lives on after you are dead, even if 5 people are listening to it. And it's a mix of various peoples, and various people and what they bring to the table and their thoughts. So it's like a mix of ingredients.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, you guys started out, I think, back in about 2004, and at that time, the band's sound was very different. In fact, I remember you guys used to play a lot of Pantera covers as well, you know. And today, you guys have a completely different sound, you know. So, was it a conscious change in direction, or how did this come about?
Yeah, we've honed our skills, so to say, on Pantera, Slayer, Obituary, stuff like that. So the initial sound was sludgy, death metal, thrash, you know, old school. Vocalist was Amitabh, was really into Cannibal Corpse and 6 Feet Under and stuff like that. So he had that very low tuning vocals, and he wanted to sing on that. Besides that, like the sound changed after these guys joined it majorly. We've gotten more influences as to what we've been listening to over the years, how life's treated us over the years, how we have changed as people. So it's all these influences that make the music that is coming out of us today.
Okay, where did you find Shashank?
Okay, Shashank's been a friend for a really long time, and we've gigged with his earlier band Holocaust, and
Oh yeah, that was a brand.
it was a brand. Yeah, since all the members are in various other bands.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, he came by, and we always had kind of thought that he would be an ideal replacement. He said, "Come over and sing for us." He did, and he was very enthused about it. Yeah, I want to do this. Fuck it, you know, let's do it. So we're like, yeah, let's do it. And
I'm the only vocalist who used to sing one time with them, so they had no choice.
Shashank was not just because he was a friend, but he understood what we wanted to do with our music. Same for Yuvraj, he joined on drums. And he was always there at Undying gigs before, like, dude, this song, you know, I really want to play it like that. You know, if you could have done like something there, or some breakdown, and we'd always be like, okay, Yuvraj has ideas. And so, you know, he also came around, and once the older lineup left, these two guys were just happened, it clicked. So you see, there is fate involved.
Yes.
It was meant.
It was fate.
It
just
fated.
happened. It just happened, and you can see the repercussions.
Yeah.
And Shashank, you're one of you know, the most aggressive and energetic frontmen in Indian metal today. And you know, at one point, if I recall correctly, you were quite an item on the RSJ forums. So you know, there's been a great transformation in you also. Yeah. So where did all that energy come from? And you know,
Dude, I've always been a kid, you know. I've always been a kid, I never grew up. And, you know, but at the same time, the point is people do evolve. It's not about growing old, it's not growing up, you know. So yes, I have grown up and definitely not old. And at that time, yes, I was very reckless. I was quite antisocial and I was very much in my own head. I started off as a very different person, but everybody changes style, you know that.
yeah,
You have changed a lot.
no more face paint for me.
Oh yeah, no more face paint for you, yeah.
The first time I saw DR, the first time I met Sahid, the IIT Blitzkrieg, was on drums, face painted.
No, there was no face paint.
There was, I think.
No. Never ever done it on stage.
There was.
And I got to ask, a lot of your fans, I'm sure, are very curious about your typing skills, because on Facebook you are known and notorious for alternate casing.
Here he's just talking about
Shift key
polyrhythms.
How do you do it? Explain the system to us.
Dude, I
The
got a
time
spastic
signature to
finger, you know, my pinky finger is a fucking
He's got a
spastic
time
finger.
signature to it. Like, you know, nobody knows what that is. It's odd time plus odd time signature.
Keshav actually learned it in like 2 days.
Shift can appear at any
You know,
point.
Keshav from Sky Harbor, he learned it like in 2 days. Not that, you know, tough actually. You just need to have a spastic finger.
So that's the only.
Spastic finger.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you just keep typing.
So that was the only reason you did it.
Oh yeah. And to look cool.
Music lifestyle.
Music lifestyle guy was.
So next time I can't understand people's messages, I am going to blame you for the internet typing skills.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
at least I started a trend.
Okay, so there have been some rumors early last year about your drummer Yuvraj quitting. You know, what happened with him?
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Don't take it seriously.
We get
It's
mad
like-
at each
yeah,
other
we
all
get
the
mad.
fucking time. You know, it's like, you know, everybody has fights in bands. You know, it's tough to
Just-
dude. It's
There
very
are times we hate each other.
you know when anybody is forming a
Fighting
band,
each other.
it might sound tough, or you know, people might think it's very tough to actually form a band. But we know, and I'm pretty sure you know, out of all the people, how tough it is to actually keep the
keep
people
a band
together.
together.
And, you know, everybody has got a different life, different lifestyle, you know, different attitude, different things going on in their own lives, you know. And sometimes, you know, your personal shit actually reflects in your band. It happens in your professional life. It's as simple as that, you know. So, you know, there was a time when Yuvraj was going through a rough patch, you know, there are times when I go through a rough patch, you know.
Happens.
Things happen, you know.
So
We take a break,
serious.
we take a break, we relax, we chill. When we are normal, we get back together, you know. We scream at each other all the fucking time, but at the end, we just... Yeah, I abuse them all the time, actually. All the time. In fact, not to mention at the Pantera Tribute, me and Yuvraj, we had a major fight. I never went for the first two jams. And we were jamming with 16 musicians. That was like a responsibility. Even with that responsibility, I never went to the jam, which is highly unprofessional. I had to go back. But the point is, we actually end up getting back. So it's always turns out to be good.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about this Pantera Tribute you guys just did. I mean, 16 musicians.
Fucking intense. Intense as fuck.
See, we do a Dime Tribute or a Pantera Tribute every year. We've been doing it. And,
last year we did 14 songs, this year we did 20 songs. Last year we were jamming with 5 musicians, this year we were jamming with 12 musicians. 16 including us.
16.
Yeah. So, you know, it was really intense. We had Anupam Roy from Grey and Sorry, and we had Keshav there from Sky Harbor, and, you know, Adha from Artillery, Luke from Artillery, Anubhav from Ecosystem. It was like a good jam session for 2 months, and we were all having fun. It was pure fun. It was really good.
And how was the show? I mean, how was the response from, you know, Pantera fans?
The response is, as usual, dude, you play Pantera to a crowd, they're fucking gonna break stuff.
Yeah.
It happens, that's the response, you know. And, you know, actually, Sameer, Cafe Morrison's owner, he actually came back after the show to me. He came back to me after the show, and he was like, dude, fuck, are you okay? Is everything alright? And I was like, fuck, I have to ask you this question. Is your place okay? Like, yeah, dude, it's all good, it's all good. This is the time of the year when I don't give a fuck.
And Reuben, you've also worked with RSJ in the past, and you handled that magazine for quite a while, you know. So, what was that experience like dealing with, you know, bands and being in a band, and, you know?
It was really great actually, because I was exposed to, I didn't know what the Indian scene was before that. I knew because as a reader of RSJ, but what it is to be in the center of it and see all the action happening around you. So yeah, I learned a lot and opened my eye to a lot of different kind of music. I became more broad-minded with my choice.
And you know, a lot of bands, you know, think about magazines and say, oh, we should be featured. And what advice do you have for bands who actually think that they deserve to be featured in a magazine?
Any band being featured because you worked hard at your music, worked hard at the band, and put the thing together so that people say we want to feature you. So the whole point is for bands who want to get featured, like, be worthy of it, make yourself work hard, push yourself, make sacrifices.
It doesn't matter where you come
do it, and then
you
people
just
will get to you.
If you're good, you'll just get noticed. You need to be something different, that's it.
Aggressive World Dynasty is your first like full-length proper album from the Undying Inc stable.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the concept behind the album.
The life is in your face, it's rubbing you in your face every day you go out. So it's how we evolve and what we become as a human race based on the choices we've made and the future that we have for that. There's Manimal, which is about the ingredient of raw animal creature inside you, which is never gonna get out. I mean, it's all polished, modernized, everything, but the basic instinct is that. So that and what man is today and how we are destroying this planet that we live in completely.
Yeah, it's like no matter
screwing it up.
It doesn't matter how many NGOs you open, how many political parties you choose, the world is gonna fucking end.
And
there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean,
it's just nothing you can do.
Nothing is gonna work. It's aggressive.
And people who try, they die.
That's it.
Sooner. That's as simple as that.
And I believe you write all the lyrics of the band, or do you also?
It's a very weird writing process actually. Actually, what happens is almost all the songs talk about the same main theory. Alright. So it's not very tough for me to actually juggle.
Okay.
So many a times what I do is actually he send me vocals for some song, Biz sends it. Actually they start the writing process. Actually Reuben starts writing some song, Biz starts writing some song. They send it over to me. Okay, I write the composition otherwise, and when I'm composing the stuff together, I can juggle it around because both of them are talking about the same thing in different words, and put it together, it sounds brilliant. So that's all I've been working on since forever. I'm a pathetic writer.
You guys have had the pleasure of opening for some of your influences like Meshuggah and Textures. Tell me about that experience. What was it like?
Yes, we idolize texture bands like Textures and Meshuggah, and seeing
Meshuggah.
them in front of your eyes, it's a different world altogether. I fucking cried.
Almost.
Yeah. Oh yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Fuck. I cried, and there was this time during the third song they were playing Bleed, and I fucking banged
He
my
busted
head
his
right
head.
here.
Bleeding.
And the best part was the lighting was completely red. You see Meshuggah shows, right?
Yeah.
The lighting is generally completely white and red. So there were people telling me, "Oh, what happened to you? What happened to you?" I was like, "What happened to you?" And then suddenly, "Oh yes, your head is bleeding. Your head is bleeding." Okay. And it's all red light around. I was like, "Where's the blood?" I was like, "What the fuck? Where's the blood?" And later when the show ended, and I saw my face. Actually, there was one of our fans who was actually standing in the crowd. He took my photograph at that time, and he tagged me on Facebook, and that's how I saw my photograph. And he took my photograph right when I was bleeding like this. It was all blood, and I never felt a thing. It's the weirdest thing ever.
That's what Meshuggah does to you.
So you bled during Bleed.
Yeah.
Textures again was, I don't know what to say. It's like
It's like you listen to these guys and
suddenly they come up in front of you,
yeah.
playing the same stuff. There's nothing you can say. Like, okay. You're just watching and suddenly you think like, my life is complete.
Total fanboys basically.
Fanboys.
Total
You
fanboys.
become fanboys around bands
Like
like
cut
that.
it short, one word fanboys.
Yeah, you become fanboys like that. And the best part about that Texture store was when Yuvraj got his symbol
Yeah, from Step.
Step Brooks. And
So Step Brooks just gave him a symbol.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
To Yuvraj and he signed it.
Yeah, there's a joke going on.
Best played
When Yuvraj asked Step Brooks for a symbol,
Yeah.
Step Brooks said, "You want a symbol?" Yuvraj was like, "Yes, I want to." He was like, "Why do you want to? I can give you 5." Yuvraj fainted on the spot,
Actually.
So no, it never happened. It's a joke.
Okay.
So and the one thing when I got off stage right after my show, Eric, Texas Books, he stopped me and he complimented our band and me, and I guess that's the biggest compliment I have ever gotten in my life.
No, it's
like-
good that if the people you look up to for your music appreciate what you're doing,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
very
like-
satisfying feeling. At
Yeah.
least we are trying hard and
I was not
people are
surprised
seeing-
that I was fucking shocked. I was not expecting this at all.
So guys, what does the future hold for Undying Inc?
Well, we are working at quite a few things right now. We just released an album, so we've been promoting it and we will be promoting it even more and doing shows, lots of gigs. 2012 and we're planning to have another album on the way. So that's what I have some news we cannot confirm yet, but hopefully good things should happen.
So good things for Undying Inc. And I hope you guys are now ready to eat some of that Undying Meatzza that I've
Can't wait.
created.
Bring it on!
Bring it on, man!
Alright,
Do it.
so we're gonna go and get the Undying Meatzza for Undying Inc. to taste.
Yeah, I have
Alright guys, so here's the Undying Meatzza. It's time to dig in and tell me what you think of it. Go for it.
You mind?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Come on, there's a race going on here.
What?
Okay, I'll talk later.
Food gasm?
Holy motherfucker, how did you make this base?
This is beef mince. Well, because the idea was to remove the bread from the pizza and make it out of beef mince. So that's a beef mince base with pepperoni, pizza sauce and cheese.
I'm not going to talk, okay?
Sorry. I'm just gonna eat. Anyone who's missing this is go die.
So there you have it. The band with the least body fat in the Indian metal scene has given the Undying Meatzza the thumbs up. We'll see you on the next episode of Headbanger's Kitchen.
It's more than fucking thumbs up.
This pizza is awesome, but I don't think we can finish it ourselves. It's just too much.
Guys, you don't even have to do.
Yeah.
You guys must not be hungry. Huh?
Where do you guys come from?
Huh?
You want some pizza?
Sure, man. I would love to.
Okay guys,
Do you want some pizza?
Yeah.
let them try it. You can take your plate.
I would say just give me some time. Just give me some time till I find like a more appropriate set of words to be able to
Yeah,
express. I'm not getting anything on this. Forget it. It's bloody fantastic, man.
Where do you get an English accent from? They're fantabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. Do it?
There's a slight English.
He does that a lot, especially when he
Camera.
speaks to girls maybe.